I'm going to give you, what's your favourite ever night out? One, you've had a few over the years, it has to be said.
If I really think about it, I think about many places, but the closest to my heart is the night we were running at the Blue Note.
I thought you were going to say the Blue Note.
On Monday nights. I mean, that night...
What would have been the year? 92?
We started in 96.
Oh, is it as late as that?
Yeah, and then the club was running until about 99.
Okay. So sometime in sort of 1996, 1997.
Yeah, and so many people I've come across today, and they're like, for them, it's like such of a memoir, just the vibe, not only the music, but just the all-inclusive kind of energy which it had.
I'm putting you down as the Blue Note.
Before it was Jazz Club, as you know. It was the bass clef before.
It was, yeah.
And now it's...
That was sort of the first sign of that whole Hoxton thing, wasn't
it? Was.
Really,
it kind of put... That club kind of helped put the area on
for
the
good
map.
or bad.
Yeah, for good or bad. Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
I'm going to give you a day off, right? You can't do any work whatsoever. How would you spend your day?
I do have those days, and usually I practice my instrument. But if I feel like going out and enjoying London, I would either do nothing but just walk around Soho.
Just mooch.
Yeah, just walk around Soho and follow my nose.
Yeah.
And I think Soho's one of those areas where it's kind of, it's been through changes, but very slow, very slow. Like I would walk in Soho, I would meet friends which I know, it could be like John Pearce, the tailor, is a really old mate of mine, and just friends. I like that area. And then some of the small galleries like the Golden Square, the Frith Street Gallery on Golden Square, and those kind of spaces. And then if I feel like kind of doing the big gallery scene, there's obviously the Tate Modern, then there's the Wallace collection, which I performed at
I love that
recently.
Oh,
it's amazing. I ended up performing there for
really?
They had the Diwali party which was kind of curated by a friend of mine, and it was amazing to play there, and everybody sat on the floor like Indian kind of cushion soiree style. And so, we're in London, I think we are blessed with so many great places to go to. The ICA, if I just want to sit down, just have some
good lunch as well now. At the
really
ICA.
good lunch, and you just, you can just, collect some old DVDs, films, or just some really good books.
You've got someone visiting who's never been here before. Maybe they've come from India, wherever it might be. Where would you take them?
I usually take them to this little small Japanese place called Taro in Soho,
right?
And we just sit there. And
is that on Brewer Street?
Yeah. And then from there, because it's open,
that's
like
my wife's favourite.
Oh, okay, great. And so it's open like throughout the day, and I love the fact that that's one of the spots, and then you just, like I said, but that's my area. I like that area. I feel connected, and I feel I can walk. That's important to me. I feel I can walk. It's a walking district.
What's the worst journey ever?
South London. London has this, as you know, it has a really interesting divide. Like, soon as like if you're from north or like east, and you go to South London, you feel like you need a passport in your pocket before you.
And I'm sure it's vice versa as well.
I'm sure it is. I mean, I know recently there's been. I played the last. I should have invited you, Robert, but the last the last day of the London Jazz Festival, we had the blessing to play at the Bridge Theatre, where they don't really have a lot of concerts.
No.
And I thought that area is quite interesting because it kind of like bridges east and south. And
what sort of Bermondsey?
I was okay without my passport there. Yeah, like Bermondsey and that area. That's an interesting.
It is a really interesting area.
It's beautiful because it's you've got the river and
you can see the north.
You can see the north exactly. Don't feel so disorientated.
All right, your personal London landmark, something that makes you think, this is my town, I'm home, whatever it might be.
Personal landmark. I think my personal landmark, because I traveled, like my parents still have our house. We still have that house, which our garden, you know, kind of overlooks from our garden, we can see that's where the Olympic Stadium Park starts, and which used to be an old kind of train railway depot. We used to play in that depot. So for me, that is the landmark.
That's
really.
it. You can have that.
Yeah, that is my landmark, and I'm glad that my parents, like, you know, they never kind of sold that house, and they were just like, no, we love this, because like, not, you know, 50s to now, it's a long time.
It's a very long time.
Yeah, to nurture a home. But there's many places, as you know, Robert. There's so much. There's so many, not only monumental kind of buildings, but just sometimes you just find, you know, small little spots, and you just stand outside and you're just like, wow. Even the Truman Brewery, where I had my first like proper recording studio, for me that's a really important space. The Strong Room Studios and Curtin Road, where I made the albums like OK.
Yeah.
You know, for months I was in that studio. I mean, like that's under threat now.
Is it?
That might go. So just before I left for India, you know, they had asked me to come in and kind of help with the situation, and because it's a recording studio, there's going to be sound pollution from the exterior. They're building apartments, and you know they're under threat. So we're losing these kind of creative spaces around the city, and we have to realize that you know it's the creative spots and the hubs which are really important for the city, and we have to, you know, we have to find a way to kind of keep this going.
Who's your favourite fictional Londoner?
I think it has to be Charles Dickens. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if it's like, you know, something which is kind of deep rooted as.
So pick a Charles Dickens character then, from any one of the, you know.
Oliver Twist.
Okay, I'll let you have
Probably
Oliver
yeah.
The Artful Dodger. You could be the Artful Dodger.
Yeah, the Dodger.
Because the Dodger is all of us.
Dodger.
Yeah, that's who we are.
That's a kind of London icon.
Yeah,
especially if you're from East London.
Yeah,
you know?
but
if you don't learn how to dodge, you got to be worried.
But exactly. But that's. I mean. But I've been writing about this. I got a book coming out about London, and I've been writing about the difference between the Artful Dodger, who we all love, and then like villains who we don't like.
Yeah.
Because the Dodger's a villain, but he's not. He's kind of. He's the streets. He's just how to get by. He's how to navigate. He's how to you know. You bob and weave. You duck and dive. It's what you do.
Yeah, no, that's right. And Hitchcock, you know, he was round.
Yeah, he's one of your local boys.
Yeah, he's a local boy as well. And, you know, there's this lovely...
Have you done film soundtracks?
Yeah, I just did a film recently, a beautiful film about this Bollywood actor who is a Bollywood star who leads a really lonely life in Bombay. And he relies on his driver to run... He's like his professional friend.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful story which revolves around.
Is that coming out?
Food.
Or has it been out?
It's trending on Netflix right now.
What's it called?
And it's driven by music. It's called Once Again. It's a beautiful film.
Pick your favourite London film or book or play.
I think Buddha of Suburbia.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you kind of, when you saw that, did you think, yeah, that's me?
Yeah, I thought it's London life, and within its conflicts. And its harmony at the same time. And I think, you know, Hanif Qureshi is a really, really incredible guy. I've met him before as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was around. I actually ended up meeting Hanif through Susie and the Banshees, and because he was around the punk scene.
Yeah.
And, for me, he's quite an icon.
I'm not surprised. Finally, you can do some time travel. You can go backwards or forwards, and you can return. You don't have to stay there. Where would you go? But you've got to stay in London.
If I were to go back, it would be like around 96, 97, around late 90s area.
You're going to go and revisit your golden years.
Yeah, and a time where, you know, there was a time where you could just do whatever you want. It was a very anarchic. You could be anarchic.
Yeah.
And yet, you know, it was there was a kind of intercultural...
It was still kind of punk. Only it was broader, wasn't it?
And an intercultural dialogue was happening, you know? And I find like we've got too safe with everything now. And so I would like to go back there to revisit that kind of sense of harmony and conflict.
Yeah, and you'll kind of have to have both a bit, maybe.
You have to have a bit
because that
of
tension's
both. Yeah.
important for creativity, isn't
That's
it?
right, exactly. And also, and I'm an optimist, so I want to see London and how it's going to grow. 2020, 25, 10, yeah. I think
10 years from now, 20 years from now.
Yeah, I think like also I feel like what kind of output, can I have with whatever I'm doing, the little I'm doing, I think it's important to kind of give the city whatever you can, more than what you've got out of it.
Well, you've been giving something back to your local borough. You've been involved in Welcome to the Forest, which is part of the Walthamstow Borough of Culture 2019 initiative. And we've been listening to one of its sons, Talvin Singh, listed Londoner. Thank you very, very much.
Robert. Lovely to see you.
And you, sir.